All right, in this video, I will be teaching you how to plan a brand photo shoot, whether you're a media creator, someone who's going to do content for a business, or the business owner yourself, and you want to know how you plan out the shoot. That way you don't go and you have no idea what you're doing. So first things first, you need to understand pretty much two things. You need to understand the industry and what content strategy do they have currently. So I'm gonna give you an example. I did a client shoot for a gym owner. So gym, fitness, that's the industry. And then I went to his social media and I saw kind of his style, what he liked to post, how he liked to caption it, things like that. And that gave me a pretty good idea of how I was going to go there and film the content that I wanted to film, and also try to add and change things that I think he should be doing instead. So first things first, gym industry, what are people looking for? When you're trying to do content specifically, whether it's photos or videos, you want to think about the audience. So think about, if I'm scrolling on Instagram, I'm a guy who is either, or guy or girl, doesn't matter, who's thinking about fitness or wants to get into fitness or already is in fitness but looking for a new gym, things like that. That's what you want to have in your mind. Then imagine you're scrolling. What you have to think, what is a post that will make you stop and go, wow, or I need to join, or something like that. So say I'm going to this gym. He's a personal trainer, so he does a lot of like one-on-one group session, stuff like that. And so I'm going, and my thought processes when I'm getting the photos is I want to capture someone doing something cool, or something that looks interesting, or something that looks hard, something like that. And so there's people doing, if they are like box jumps where they're jumping on, high boxes, doing things that are like, more than half their height. So taking photos of them jumping, or they're holding a plate above their head and taking photos of them doing that. And just things like that. So I'm trying to, as I'm taking the photos, or before, I'm thinking, okay, I want to get photos of people doing cool things and people doing things that are hard. Now, this photo shoot in particular was not an easy one. It was late at night, and so there was zero daylight, and the gym had decent lighting, but not enough. Like it was a pretty tall gym, and so the lights were higher up. It was still like lit and stuff, but the photos did not come out good. And so I had to do a lot of work on the back end in terms of editing, and that was a whole process, but I made it work. But a lot of it was, like I said, planning ahead and figuring out, okay, what are the types of things I'm trying to get? And previously on this person's social media, it was lower quality, looked like it was taken with a phone, and inconsistent posting. And so going into this, I knew I wanted to make enough content for him to post at least something every day, something that was higher quality, better edited, showcase either him training people or people doing things that looked interesting. So if I was looking at his account, I would see, okay, that looks cool. Let me look more into this guy. Secondly, I want to talk about the reels. So like making Instagram reels. I was focusing on Instagram. He had posted very few reels. Either it was someone he was training who like knew camera stuff, would make something, or him with his phone, just lower editing, audio cut, maybe some music over it. So nothing really engaging or show something. If you knew him, you'd probably watch it, but if you were just someone scrolling, you would probably scroll right past it. And so my idea going into this was I want to create stuff that teaches about him personally, because if I'm someone who's looking at going into a gym, I'm going to be thinking, why this guy, why this gym specifically? And so what I did was I went to AI. You can use ChatGPT. Google Gemini is also a really good one. People don't know a lot about that. It's completely free. You go on and you just ask, hey, ChatGPT, I'm going to do a photo shoot for a gym owner. He is a personal trainer. You just give some information about whatever business it is you're doing, and you say, give me a list of questions that I can ask him that would create reels, something high engaging, things like that. I just give it a prompt. The more detailed you are, the better. So AI works. Don't talk to it like a friend. Talk to it like a professional. So you're just literally trying to give it as much information as possible so that it can make better educated and just better things in general. It's just a general tip about AI. So I went to AI and I said, I want to do 30 reels. So I said, create a list of 30 questions about him, his gym, his fitness, his journey, things like that. It came out with an entire list, and these are like very deep, very good questions, something that would be, somebody would like hear the question or hear him answering the question and go, oh, that's interesting. So something that people who don't know him would stop and listen to. So a lot of them was, how'd you get into personal training? how long have you been doing this? What are some success stories? Because he primarily focuses on like high school athletes, and so he helps them get like college scholarships and things like that. So he had a little board which showcased how many people got scholarships that have come out of his gym. So we filmed it there. Also try to plan out where you're going to film the location. If there's a background of the business you're going to that you think would better fit the video, do that as well. But if you're going in blind, then obviously kind of you have to be creative and think about things on the fly. But so yeah, I made this list of 30 questions, and then I went to him and said, basically, I wanted to do it like interview style in his office, because he has an office that's got all the stuff in the background. But he wanted to do it like walking around, kind of. I was doing it as people were working out, so like you could see the people working out in the background and stuff like that. So we ended up doing it walking around. I basically had my camera, gave him the mic, and I wanted to do more of a personal one-on-one style thing instead of just like really professional. I wanted it to feel more homey and more personal. So I gave him a mic, had the camera, and just I would ask him the question and then he would answer, and just rinse and repeat through all the questions. And let's see, how did they do? They've ended up so far, he hasn't posted all of them yet, but the ones that he has posted have been either better than or around his previous best reels. And so in terms of engagement, really good likes, some comments. So just overall really good, especially because he wasn't barely posting any reels at all. So it's definitely going to scale. Like if he posts more consistently on pretty much every day, the engagement will start being there. But yeah, the reels have done pretty good, and a lot of it's going to be on the editing as well. You need to have a very good edit style. Focus on the first 3 seconds if it's a reel. If it's a YouTube video, first 30 seconds. But the first 3 seconds of any short form content is the most important. So while you're doing your editing, make sure that the beginning is very engaging or something that catches their eye, something that they have to read. Personally, how I edited these was I had kind of like a little bit of a blurred thing, and you could read the text out for, I think I gave them 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. Had a little audio track of like turning into higher pitch, and then like a snap or a louder noise as it switched to him actually talking and answering the question. So that's how I edited that. But like I said, the biggest thing is plan ahead. Make sure you know exactly what you're going into, how you're going to film, the kinds of things you want to film. The worst thing is going to a shoot not prepared. I promise you, it makes things a lot harder. It takes up a lot more of your time, and honestly, it just makes you look more unprofessional. Because sometimes people have come to me and they're like, well, what do I do? Or they'll go to a shoot and the guy, say they're filming for a business, and the guy's like, okay, what do you have in mind? And then the guy shooting is like, oh, I don't know. What do you think? And it's like, well, you're the professional. And so you always want to make sure that you portray yourself as the professional, as the person who knows more. Because when you come into a shoot completely prepared, you know exactly what you want, and you tell him, this is what I want from you. I promise you will seem so much more professional. It's like, oh, okay, he knows what he's doing. And you'll just get the stuff quicker, and it'll just be better quality stuff. So biggest thing is use AI whenever you can. I think some people are scared to use AI because it feels not personal or whatever. I just know a lot of people have problems with AI. I personally love AI. I use it whenever I can. As a business owner, not only that, but I am in school and have a job as well. It is very time effective to use AI to make things a lot easier, a lot quicker. Use it wherever you can. Don't rely on it solely as you can't do anything on your own. Like if I'm making a thumbnail or I'm editing a photo, I will use AI, but it does not come out exactly how you want it. So you have to put it in Photoshop, in Lightroom, and edit it up and make it exactly what you want. But it can definitely make the process a whole lot easier. And in my case, at this photo shoot, it was completely dark. And so these photos were very grainy, very blurry. So I had to really utilize AI to make sure these came out good. But they ended up coming out really good. Reels came out good. And so I wanted to make this video because I think going to a shoot prepared is the most important thing you can do. And utilize the tips that I said in this video. And hopefully your next shoot goes a little bit more smoother.